Have you got a Chevy pickup truck where the driver's window doesn't go up and down or goes up and down real slow? Well, here's how to change it. Of course, you first have to take all the trim panels off. There's several screws. You have to take the master switch off. That just simply pries up. As you can see, there's little spring clamps that hold it down in place. After that, then you just need to unhook the electrical connectors and take the master switch and get it out of your way. Several more screws. As you see them, they come exposed. Just take the screws out. There's a panel behind the door handle. The door handle will actually stay attached to the door. The triangle panel up at the top by the mirror, it has the same type of spring-loaded clamps that hold it in place. There's one screw that comes up from the bottom of the door. Simply take it out. And then you have the door lock mechanism. It just snaps into place. Two little keepers keep it in place. And then in the back, you can see where the probe from the rod comes out and sticks right into the back of this, and then that moves it forward and backwards so that you can unlock the door. Now, here's something to be careful about. You do not want to do this. You do not want to pry the door out. Some doors do that, but on this door, instead of prying, you lift. You just pop it up, and it'll come out of place. If you pry on it, you will break tabs that I'll show you. So you lift the door. Now, when we take this panel off, if you'll look right here, there are little feet that go downward. That is what you're lifting. So if you pry, you will actually break those off, and then you're going to be buying a new panel. Here's the clue. Underneath, you remember that screw? If that screw comes from the bottom upward, and there's only one there, then that's the lift type. Now you actually unhook the other connectors. There's two more connectors. This one's for a little light. You pop that panel up and your door panel comes off. Now this is a vapor barrier. It's just stuck on there. Some of them are stuck on with some pretty gooey stuff. Some are pretty easy like this. So you just take the vapor barrier. Now you need to keep that and put that back on. Now we have a special tool to hold the glass up. If you don't have something like this, you can simply use something like duct tape to keep the window up. There's several screws now that have to be loosened. We're showing you where they all are here. Now the vapor barrier again just gets in your way. Just wrap it around. It's not going to come out of there because it's under the door handle, and the door handle is not going to come off. But you have a screw there, you have one there in the middle, and one at the bottom. One at the bottom there, and one at the top. And there's actually one in the middle that we're not showing you there. We forgot it. We'll show you here in a second. Now here's actually how the whole mechanism, the motor, the regulator comes out. It's kind of an odd looking thing if you've never seen one. This is one side of it. Now you take the other side out. But we're going to notice here that we forgot one screw. There's 3 screws on both of the uprights. Here's the middle screw. And now the left upright will come free, and it will come out of the door as well. It's kind of a tight fit, and you have to fiddle it around a little bit, but you can get it right out of that hole. So this is the window regulator with a new motor. The motor's on the right side. It's kind of an odd looking thing. Doesn't look like it'll fit in there, but it does. Here's the new one. Comes in a box, and it's all pre-assembled. Of course, whenever you get something new, a new part, you should lay it down and compare it to the old one to make sure that it's the same. So you check it over, make sure it's the same. Now you want to make sure your electrical connectors. Now this new one's white, the old one's black, but they're actually the same thing. Now this is where the glass attaches to the regulator. Notice it's at the top because we had the window up, and on the right when it's down, it's actually down part of the way. Now see the rubber? That's where the glass is going to slide in. When we took the screws out, this actually just came off and fell down on the inside because we took the screw out. On the new one, you see that it's actually the screw is still in there. So the glass will slide down into that rubber. You tighten the screw down and it'll hold the glass into that rubber, and it will keep it tight. Now you just take this and fit it back in the hole just like the other one came out. There's just 2 uprights, the left one on the right one. The motor goes to the right. Again, you have to kind of fiddle it around, but it will go in there. And then you stand the uprights up. And of course you line the holes up. There should be 3 holes for 3 screws on each upright. Once you get it lined up, you can start your screws. It's much easier if you start all 3 before you tighten anything down. The middle one, the bottom one. Now up at the top next to the screw here, or the bolt, you can see there's a guide pin. That guide pin should stick through that little slot. If it doesn't, your regulator may get in a bind. So make sure that that sticks through. That's on the upright and it will stick through that slot. Now the left one is the same way. You line your holes up. Now here you can see we're trying to line the hole up, and you wait until you get that little slot through there that has the guide pin. That guide pin, once it's in that place and your 3 holes are all lined up, then your regulator is installed correctly. Just put them finger tight, get them all ready. Now once they're finger tight and everything's in place, you can snug these down. I would just snug them at this point, and then later we'll actually come back and cinch them down tight. Now we want to make sure it works. So take your window switch, the master switch, and plug it in. Now you turn your key on, and you should be able to make that window go up and down to make sure everything's going to work. Make sure the window motor works and that it doesn't get in a bind. So you can see it working there. Slide it all the way up and down. Make sure it doesn't get in a bind. Now we're going to slide it all the way up, and you see these little square holes. You'll see it rise up and actually slide onto the glass. Remember that little black rubber that was in there? That's to grip the glass. So now you take your screw and you attach it there on both sides. You tighten it down good and snug. Again, at this point, we're just going to test the window. We're going to take our brace off so that the window can slide. Now we're going to make the window go all the way up and all the way down, full travel both ways, to make sure that nothing's in a bind and to make sure that it works. Then at this point you can go back and you can actually tighten those screws down a little bit tighter. Now we have to take the window switch off because we got to put our panel back on. Vapor barrier is usually reusable. Sometimes it might even tear a little bit, but you can stick it back on there, and if you need to, use tape to get it sealed. But it is important to be there. It's a vapor barrier. Now you take your door panel, the trim panel, and remember the feet that have to actually slide in place. Get them lined up. Hook your electrical connectors back up. There's 2 need to be attached before you attach the panel to the door. Now those are where the feet go. They actually go through the vapor barrier and into those little square holes. Now when you're attaching your panel back on, the very top needs to go over the black ridge where the glass is. So lift it up and over that black ridge, the rubber ridge there. Get it in place. Make sure everything's lined up, and it should fit in there square, just pushed up against the door. And once that's done, then you should just be able to pop it downward and get those feet to lock in. Feel all the way around and make sure that it feels like it's in good. It's in square. Now at this point, basically it's all put back together. We just need to put a few screws in that we took out. Take some of the trim panels. Put the screw in from the bottom. Your door handle cover. The little triangle trim piece. Put your master switch back in, and your door lock mechanism that just snaps back into place, and you're all done.
That's all.